The strongest player in the server completely lost his mind over a chair. Not a secret boss, not a game-breaking exploit, not a new update. A chair. And somehow that single chair led to one of the funniest experiences I've ever had in the strongest Battlegrounds. I joined the server a few days after the Cosmic Garou update dropped, and if you've played TSB recently, you already know what kind of environment that creates. Every server suddenly becomes an ecosystem where 80% of the population is trying out the new moveset, and the remaining 20% are desperately trying to survive it. The map looked like a meteor strike had happened every 30 seconds. Explosions everywhere. People flying across the city. Buildings disappearing. The average life expectancy of a random player was about 6 seconds. Pretty normal. I spawned in and immediately noticed one player dominating everybody. Not unusual. Every server has that guy. The player who's clearly spent 12 straight hours mastering a character while the rest of humanity was doing things like sleeping and interacting with family members. This guy's name was something ridiculous like Cosmic Emperor. Already a warning sign. Whenever somebody names themselves something that sounds like the final boss of an anime filler arc, you know you're about to witness behavior that belongs in a psychology textbook. The guy was good. I'll give him that. Ridiculously good. Every fight looked effortless. People challenged him. Lost. Teams challenged him. Lost. At one point, 3 players attacked him simultaneously and somehow ended up helping him look cooler. The server was basically treating him like a local celebrity. But then I noticed something weird. Every few minutes he'd stop fighting and run to the exact same location, a small cafe area near one corner of the map, specifically one chair. Always the same chair. He'd sit down for a few seconds, then leave, then come back later, then sit again. At first I thought maybe it was some inside joke. Maybe he was waiting for friends. Maybe he was role-playing as the strongest office worker in history. I didn't think much about it. Then another player accidentally sat in the chair, and everything changed. Cosmic Emperor immediately sprinted across half the map. Not walked, not ran. This man moved with the urgency of somebody trying to stop a natural disaster. He reaches the chair, stands directly in front of the player. Then types, "Get up." The other player ignores him. Cosmic Emperor types again, "That's my chair." Now naturally everybody nearby starts paying attention. Because whenever somebody claims ownership over public furniture in a Roblox fighting game, you've stumbled into content. The other player responds, "What?" Reasonable question. Excellent question, actually. Cosmic Emperor says, "I sit there." The conversation somehow gets worse. The player laughs, stays seated, and then Cosmic Emperor attacks him. Full combo. Launches the guy into orbit, absolutely annihilates him, then returns to the chair, sits down, and acts like nothing happened. The entire interaction was so absurd that I couldn't stop watching. Because surely that was a one-time joke. Surely nobody is actually serious about owning a digital chair. Wrong. Very wrong. Over the next 30 minutes I discovered this man genuinely believed the chair belonged to him. Not legally, not metaphorically, spiritually. Every time somebody sat there he'd appear, like a furniture-themed Batman. Somebody sits down, Cosmic Garou arrives, violence occurs, chair restored. Order maintained. At first people found it funny, then people started testing it. One player sat down, got attacked. Another player sat down, got attacked. Eventually, the chair became the server's main attraction. Nobody cared about fighting anymore. People were lining up specifically to sit in the chair. It was like watching scientists repeatedly poke a dangerous animal to see if the same thing would happen. Spoiler, it did. Every single time. Now here's where things got really funny. The attention started feeding him. Because suddenly the chair situation became his entire identity. He starts referring to himself as the chairman. Brother, you are sitting in Roblox furniture. You are not running a corporation. But the server encouraged it because it was hilarious. People started making jokes, calling him security, calling him a landlord. One guy referred to him as the CEO of sitting. That one almost killed me. Then somebody decided to challenge his authority. This player walks over, sits in the chair, and says, "Make me leave." Now we're getting somewhere. Because up until now, Cosmic Emperor had mostly been bullying random chair occupants. This was the first person actively seeking conflict. The fight starts. Huge battle, players gathering around to watch, and honestly, it was pretty entertaining. The challenger was actually good. Not quite Cosmic Garou good, but good enough to make him work for it. The fight lasts several minutes, back and forth, explosions everywhere. Half the map disappears. Eventually, Cosmic Emperor wins. Barely. Then he returns to the chair, sits down, and types, "The throne remains mine." The throne. The chair had evolved. Now it's a throne. By next week, this thing was probably going to have its own religion. Then somebody asked the obvious question, "Why do you care about the chair so much?" And his answer genuinely shocked me. Apparently when the update released, he sat there while waiting for the server to fill up. That's it. That's the entire origin story. No lore, no emotional significance, no hidden meaning. The guy sat there once, then decided it belonged to him forever. The psychological journey required to reach that conclusion deserves academic study. But the server wasn't done, because now people started creating factions. I'm not joking. There were groups forming, chair supporters, chair rebels, neutral observers. The entire server had accidentally developed political parties centered around furniture. One group kept protecting the chair. Another group kept trying to occupy it. And somehow Cosmic Emperor became the center of all this. At one point I looked away for 5 minutes. When I came back there was an active protest happening. Players standing around the chair demanding equal sitting rights. Signs made from chat messages. People chanting. It looked like a labor dispute inside a Roblox anime fighting game. I've genuinely never seen anything like it. And the funniest part was Cosmic Emperor took it completely seriously. He starts giving speeches, actual speeches, talking about respect, talking about order, talking about traditions. Brother, the chairs existed for less than 2 hours. What traditions? Then somebody created an alt account named Chair Inspector. I don't know who this person was, but they were a genius. They'd walk around evaluating people's chair behavior, giving fake citations, making up regulations. The server completely embraced the bit. Now we've got government agencies, furniture politics, territorial disputes. The entire situation was spiraling out of control. Meanwhile, new players kept joining. Imagine loading into TSB for the first time and discovering the strongest player in the server is engaged in a chair-based civil war. No context, no explanation, just immediate confusion. Then came the moment everything peaked. A player with an even stronger Cosmic Garou avatar joins. Massive effects, expensive items, everything. He walks into the chair area, sees the crowd, sees the arguments, sees the chaos, and asks, "What's happening?" Somebody explains. And this new guy responds, "That's stupid." The most dangerous sentence possible. Because Cosmic Emperor reads it immediately, and you could practically hear boss music starting. The two start arguing, then challenging each other, then trash talking. Eventually they agree to a fight. Winner gets the chair. Now we've reached levels of stupidity previously thought impossible. A championship match. For seating rights. The entire server gathers around, people making predictions. People choosing sides. I've seen less hype around actual tournaments. The fight begins, and honestly, it was incredible. Both players were insanely good. Combos, counters, movement, everything. For 10 minutes the server watched two grown individuals battle for control of digital furniture. I couldn't stop laughing. Eventually, one of them wins. And it wasn't Cosmic Emperor. The Chair King had fallen. The new player wins, walks over, sits down and says, "My chair now." Absolute cinema. The server explodes, people celebrating, people losing their minds. The entire chair government collapses instantly. Months of imaginary political infrastructure destroyed in seconds. And Cosmic Emperor, silent. Completely silent. No speeches, no excuses, nothing. Just standing there, staring at the chair, like he just watched his kingdom disappear. Then something happened I genuinely didn't expect. He started laughing. Not fake laughing, actual laughing. He admits the whole thing was stupid. Everybody starts laughing too. The tension disappears immediately, and suddenly the entire server is just having fun. No toxicity, no arguing, just people enjoying the absurdity of what had happened. For the next hour, players kept sitting in the chair. Nobody attacked them, nobody defended it. The war was over, the furniture was free, peace had finally been achieved. And honestly, that's probably my favourite part of the whole story. Because what started as one guy taking a joke way too seriously eventually turned into the funniest server event I've seen in years. Nobody planned it. Nobody organised it. It just happened naturally because a bunch of bored Roblox players collectively decided a chair was the most important object in existence. That's the magic of games like TSB. You load in expecting fights, you expect combos, you expect anime battles. Instead, you get dragged into a furniture sovereignty dispute led by a Cosmic Garou player who accidentally became a dictator. And somehow those are always the experiences you remember. Not the wins, not the losses, not the kill streaks, the weird stuff. The random moments where an entire server shares one collective brain cell and creates something so unbelievably ridiculous that you couldn't script it if you tried. To this day, I have no idea what happened to Cosmic Emperor. Maybe he switched servers, maybe he's still playing, maybe he's currently defending another chair somewhere else. Honestly, I hope so. Because deep down, every game needs a completely unnecessary villain, and every villain needs a throne. Even if that throne is a plastic cafe chair sitting in the corner of a Roblox map.